Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Thursday morning trading room. Just a moment here, we'll get the screen share going on. Okay, so it looks like the buyers hot and heavy out of the gate this morning. Yesterday, the market fairly quiet until going into the close, where it fell off quite a bit, and then it recovered again through the overnight. This is the overnight session here that you're looking at. And then here was the decline going into the close and the Asian sessions. So things kind of wild and woolly. But of course, we were waiting on the FOMC minutes, and they reversed the uptrend that we saw earlier in the day, which again is not uncommon. Almost seems as though traders try to, or the market tries to trick you into getting on the wrong side, which I suppose adds to the difficulty in trading. But a huge break to the upside today. I have a feeling we're still going to see a little bit of an indecisive market here. Even though we've had a quick run up out of the gate. Hey, way to go, Mark. Mark grabbing some of that pre-market action. He says he's picked up 21 points on that run up. Nicely done. It was a big pre-market move. A lot of times, an hour before. In this case, the market's been rallying all night long, but a lot of times, about an hour before the open, which would be around here, around 5:30 my time, that's Pacific, 8:30 in the East, there will be market news that influences the market, and you can see a run up. In the days before electronic trading, when the overnight was non-existent, this kind of information would lead to some pretty crazy openings. The market would have some really, really vicious opening bells. Because of course all of that flood of orders coming in. Now that the markets are pretty much 24 hours a day, it's taken a little bit of a sting out of that, which I suppose is a good thing. All right, so here come the sellers. Oops, Adam's Skyping me. All right, here come the buyers again. So we're kind of at a little bit of a sticky point already. Oh dear, here comes Mark with the bad jokes again. It's been so cold in Wisconsin that my broker has had his hands in his own pockets lately. We actually got a little dusting of snow here yesterday. After a very mild winter, thought we were going to be in the clear, but just a little reminder that we are in Canada. So we got a little skiff of snow and temperatures hovering around freezing today. All right, we're kind of bouncing around here a bit. You see, we've still got the yesterday's bias after the FOMC report, and the sellers aren't just going to let that go. That big move lower, they're not going to walk away from that. Richard, it says it's 88 degrees in Tampa. I'm jealous. And Rick's down in Southern Carolina, and he says it's around 60 degrees, short sleeves. Not a cold-natured guy. No, me neither. That's why I'm here on Vancouver Island. This is we call it the banana belt here in Canada, but that's about as mild as we're going to get. And funny thing is, Rick, up until a few days ago, that's what our temperatures were. They were around 60 degrees. All right, we're getting another trend change signal here now on the Falcon, the Hawk, or pardon me, the Raptor. Oh yes, on the Falcon as well. We're getting a trend change. The Hawk a little bit mixed up here at the moment. We had a move higher and a move lower. The Eagle, the only one still full on bull mode. By the way, if you were inclined to do your first Eagle signal of the day, that also working out again very nicely. Beard says it's 25 Celsius in Fort Lauderdale, so really nice there on the Atlantic side, Miami area. But of course, that's what you would anticipate until around September. Then everybody heads inland. All right, wow, enough of the weather forecast. We're still kind of stuck here sideways. Looks like the sellers might try to give it a go. What I'm looking for is a decent test of the extreme before I get too committed. There is an upward drift to the market, but it's still early. We're about 15 minutes in, and this is a lot of times the market tries to throw you a fake signal. I'd like to see a decent test of the extreme, in this case, the highs. Then some sort of failure that would make for an easy short. I know there's going to be some resistance here around the 6,800 area. So there's not a lot of room to the short side. You can see we've printed a resistance line here at 67.97. And overall, a relatively tight range on the day. And you can see we're just kind of tracking sideways. Nobody really ready to commit to anything just yet. There might be enough in here for a little upside scalp. Now that we're back into the hard edge, we always anticipate some sort of reaction from here. So I would look for a bullish reaction that would produce a number 3 signal. You can see when we hit the hard edge here, we come back with a buy signal that gives us a number 3. They still got a little bit of a bearish drift to them. Good question here from Floyd. Floyd's asking about the day ranger. Floyd says the ranger indicator is at 433. The 5-day average is 516. Mine's a little bit lower, but at any rate. Does this mean that most of the daily movement is done? Well, here's the thing with averages. They are just averages. The way I look at the day ranger sometimes, like when the market is consistent, you can look at the day ranger that way, and you can say, yeah, okay, my 30-day average is around 540 ticks, my 10-day average around 500. We're already up to 433 on the day. Maybe the day is done. Maybe it's going to be a quiet day. It's going to be kind of sideways. But when we have things like FOMC minutes, major releases, or even just major moves, like when the market made that big move lower a couple weeks back, those kinds of things are going to skew the numbers a little bit. So when I see those kinds of things happen, then I look at the day ranger and I try to say, is the market expanding? Is it contracting? And right now, it looks like the 5-day average at 380, the 10-day average at 480, and the 30-day average at 550. It does appear as though the market is contracting a little bit. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe it is going to get a little bit quiet. It would almost be welcome after some of those wild sessions. But yeah, Floyd, you may be correct. At 433, if we're looking at around a 450, 500 average tick move on the day, we may have covered most of that. All right, there was a decent little swing to the short side, and opening range almost expired. All right, here now a number 1 signal to short, but we're still kind of stuck within our rather narrow daily range. I'm just going to wait here a little bit longer, see if we can't get a clear indication which way the market wants to go. Definitely a little bit conflicted. And we're back now around that 6,800 level that gave us a lot of hassle yesterday as well. This, by the way, would qualify as the number 2 signal because we've had the test of the extreme right down here. And then the market reverses and tries to head higher. And it would also qualify, this one qualifies as a number 3 signal. So we've got a lot of things going on here in a short space. You could do a really big second push entry on this. You could look to enter, we'll say even down here around the low of the morning or even below the low of the morning, certainly below that low right there. You could cover the trade up there somewhere. And this is just that type of trade to take if the market tries to make a bearish break lower. It's essentially a really a second push entry on this number 1 signal right here. And I suppose in a way we could bracket the market because we have this number 2 right here. It's not printing as a number 2, but that's what it is. So you could do an OCO type order, I suppose. We can cancel that. We can get our OCO going so we can look to short below the low. We can look to buy above the high. And here I'll probably give it a couple of ticks on this side as well. There. So we got ourselves a little bracket order going on. Coming back now with yet another soft edge buy, another number 2 signal. So we've tested the extreme again, that's the lows. And there's enough room up here that if we retest the daily high, I can get a decent test of the extreme out of that one as well. And like I say, we've got room to go here because of the big decline off yesterday's highs. I could see a retrace back to 68.50, 68.60 even. But it looks as though we've lost a lot of momentum. All right, looks like we're going to fill to the short side. And I'm going to eliminate my break even because I've been getting tagged a little premature. All right, we got a decent start to the move. Let's see if I can hold on through this little swing. If I can get through this swing, where's the next stop? 67.60. Yep, that sounds about right. No, get away from there. holding up at 67.82. Oh, come on. Oh, darn it. All right, a little bit of a pushback. Well, it was a profitable trade, but I had bigger hopes for that trade. Got a little, like I said, a little bullish pushback back to the hard edge. Looks like our other tools have synced up with what we were watching there on the Raptor. All right, here come the sellers again. So we've had that hard edge bounce. So there's a quick little move off of that number 3 signal. Oh, are they going to go again? Oh, shoot, Eric, I think you should have had an order in there. And there they go. I'm trying to be patient with the market here. Pick my moment. All right, it looks like the buyer's going to make a comeback now. Here, the number 2 signal again printing. That's the counter trend signal. We've got ourselves a relatively tight little sideways range going on right through here, like so. And it looks like we're going to get a little bit of a bullish push, maybe somewhere back to 6,800. Here on the Falcon, we have one of those late filter entry signals. So it's combined with a trend change signal, we've got the late filter, the trend line not changing color, but the filter changing color, going out of sync, coming back into sync. We produce a signal that tends to be a pretty reliable signal right there. And it looks like here too we have an opportunity to do one of those second push entries. Oops. And maybe set it up like that. Here, we'll take it above this high, cover it right around there. And I'm just, excuse me, delaying a couple of these entries because, well, because of the added volatility that we've had in the market recently. In fact, I should be looking to enter on the other side of 6,800. If I'm going to get long here. All right, here we go. So let's see, did they slip me? No, a little positive slippage. If I can hold on through this little break even move. Doggone it. No love from the market. They should head higher from here, actually. I may look at a re-entry. See here on the Raptor, we've also produced the cloud crossover signal. But like I said, we're a little conflicted here this morning. Not getting a lot of traction one way or the other. Yeah, thanks, Floyd. Floyd says the 30-second ADX that he's following is falling, is dropping, so there's no follow through on the trend side. So here come the sellers again. They kind of put the brakes on the buyers here at 68.80. We'll see if we get a number 2 signal here. That may actually be, instead of a counter trend, may actually be a trend resumption signal. All right, we'll put that on the shelf. Okay, here come the sellers. We're stuck on the high, this little swing up. All right, well, here we go. There's the number 2 signal. And let's see if I can get a second push on this one. Oh, come on. There we go. So again, I'm going to give it maybe a couple of ticks, get in on the other side of 68. Oh, actually, I suppose I could do that a little tighter. We could get in right around there. Now, like I said, this may not necessarily be a counter trend signal. This, depending on your point of view, this may be more of a with trend signal than a counter trend signal. Hey, way to go, Mark. Mark says 5 trades this morning, 4 winners, 1 loser. I'm done and now in sim mode with play money. Great morning. Good for you, man. anytime you can end up with more winners than losers, you're probably going to walk out of the day in the black. All right, here's the big test now at 6,800. Come on, give me the push through. There we go. I would like to see the market get back down here toward the low of the morning. I think that would be a decent target, around 67.80. We do have a little bit of an opening gap. And Mark says 6,800's been a strong number all week. Maybe I was a little premature getting in here at 68 or 68.50. We'll see if the sellers can get it together. And get the market back below 67.97, which hit the market right on that resistance line, right on the number. Okay, a decent start here to the trade. I think I can take it down to a more aggressive stop strategy now, maybe something like the parabolics. Come on. Oh, don't swing already, you stinkers. Oh, no. They gotta come bounce back here and tag me at break even again. Don't you dare. Oh, oh well. Darn it. All right, well, back in the holding pattern now. Are they going to try it again? Maybe. We're kind of in no man's land here at the moment. We're kind of just in a bit of a sideways drift. Had that nice little run up, had the move down, but just kind of stuck. Okay, here we go with a number one signal now, the crossover, cloud crossover signal. Are they going to give me a second push on this one as well, or is that it right there? So we've got the idea here is they're not heading lower, so maybe they're going to try to head higher. You can do that, you know, if the market doesn't seem to be cooperating in one direction, just make note of it, and then you can try a trade the other way and see if it's going to work out better that way. You'll have a better second push here above this 68.12 zone. That's what I'm looking at right now. If we get above here, if we see like 68.12, we may actually see a little bit of a run up, maybe back to 68.30, which I think was a resistance zone. Yeah, so first we have the high of the morning. Yeah, 68.33 and 3/4. That's the next resistance zone on the way up after the high of the day. First things first. Okay, here we go. We're challenging 68.12. Come on, somebody get on the other side of 68.12. Did we kiss it? I don't think so. I think we're still 68.11 3/4. Yep. There we go. All right, I guess it would be advisable to engage a stop order. Okay, here we go. Hopefully they don't swing too hard. Come on. One more hurdle. The high of the morning, of course. We're nearing 68.20. That's why we're getting this little bit of a hiccup. Oh well, it was a reasonable move. I've left a little money on the table this morning by trying to run out a few trades. Could be doing a little better had I just taken my profit on target, but this one I'm no worse off. I think yeah, banked 100 and change on that little move up, which was my profit target anyhow. And now we're back on hold. Kind of had a feeling it was going to be this kind of day, though. So if 68.20 holds, well, then the sellers are going to try to dig in around that area, maybe push the market lower again, back toward the lows of the morning. point here now, the number 2 signal. As the sellers are holding the high of the morning, might be a little bit early to get in. I wouldn't mind seeing a little bit better test of the extreme being the high here at 60, around 68.20, 68.19, 68.20. This little hiccup right here doesn't really do it for me. And it looks like that's what we're going to get. We're going to get another test of the extreme here, and maybe even a push through. We'll see. Okay, well, they're drifting lower. The hard edge is the target for this number 2 signal. Let's see what else is going on here. Kind of the same thing, a slow, painful grind lower. Okay, a little bit of a bounce off the hard edge here with the eagle as well. As you can tell, I'm not getting too excited about any of this. Just kind of waiting for the market to start leaning one way or the other. When it does that, I'll have a better idea which way I want to trade. at the moment we're a little bit of no man's land. And here we come with a hard edge bounce. So we're getting a number 3 signal. There's, oh, I'm going to be late on this, darn it. There's enough room back here to the test of the extreme that makes this signal a little more probable, a little bit more worthwhile. Come on, get up there. There you go. You can do it. And there you go. So it would have hit the profit objective. And now we're back to retesting the highs. Now a failure from here, if we don't get back above this 68.19, 68.20 zone, this should make for a very good sell. And likewise, you could look to buy above the high of the day as well, because that's where all the sellers are parked. That's what's made today so interesting, is we've got bullish and bearish underpinnings, and the market hasn't committed either way. Look at the width of this candle compared to the others. There is a lot of activity in this zone. And there's the breakthrough. So here on the Eagle, a nice little red bar buy. First micro macro cross on the Hawk, that had some decent follow through to it. A really, really quick little trend change signal here on the Falcon that coincided with the number 1 signal that we had here on the Raptor. Okay, now that that's done, here come the sellers again. Oh gosh, it's just one of those days you just spend a lot of time watching and waiting. in a little bit of a number 3 signal now, a hard edge bounce, but the hawk already into yellow bars. The Falcon's breaking up as well. Like I said before, it's just kind of a tough day right now. This could work out to be a convincing test of the extreme if we get a short signal here. But we do need to be careful because, like I said, we're kind of floating here without a whole lot of structure. Okay, back to the hard edge. And we can't seem to get too far away from 6,800 as well. It's going to come down to a coin toss here in a moment. Heads we buy, tails we sell. There's so much support on the lows that I'm really not that keen on shorting. I suppose we could do another OCO order, another one cancels other, another bracket style trade. Make sure your stops are enabled. Not really keen on that entry. I'm okay with the entry above the high. This one, however, well, I guess below the hard edge. And I suppose we could buy above the high of the morning as well. You see, we do have a number 2 signal right there. It didn't print as a number 2 because there were probably a couple too many bars in here to qualify for the programming, but it is still a number 2 signal. Scott says, kind of miss the volatile days. Careful what you wish for, Scott. They're probably not too far away. All right, here we go with a move to the upside. I'm going to eliminate my break even, and I'll probably actually hold my stop for a moment as well. Floyd says, crude report at 11 a.m. this morning. That's Pacific time, of course, because of Monday's holiday. So those of you following the crude oil market. Crude inventory out in about another 15 minutes. if we get through here, I'm going to bring my stops up. So I'm looking for a break above these highs. 68.24 3/4. So I want to see 68.25. All right, here we go. Big push to 68.25. Come on. If we can get above there, there's a very good chance we're going to get up here to the next resistance line of 68.33 3/4, which would probably be a decent place to take profit. There we go. Did we get 25? There we go. We got 25. All right. So I can take my trade to break even now. Come on. Oh. Oh. Okay. Well, it's my fault. I'm a slow learner. I left the profit on the table there again. Took a little bit out of the trade, but I really need to, on days like today, take profit on target. Maybe that's the lesson to take away from this. I would actually have a half decent session going here today. All right, you guys, I think we're gonna close up shop here for the morning. If you are going to continue trading today, I think it's going to be more of the same. We've got a little bit of a upward drift for most of the morning, but it's been a slow, painful grind. It's probably going to continue that way. I can see the market trying to get up here to the 68, 33, 34 area. But at the same time, you see the retracements are pretty deep and frequent. So it's going to be tough going. Hopefully tomorrow things will shape up a little bit for us. And we'll try it again then. All right, see you tomorrow. Bye for now.